I dream, but I do nothing. I even understand what I need to do to achieve my desired goals, but I never do any of it. I understand everything. I study endlessly. I work with therapists, but I constantly postpone actions that should be taken now. How to stop just dreaming about something, procrastinating, and start doing. If this is exactly the problem you are facing in life, then you are in the right place, because this video is for you. Hi, my name is Oleksandra. I'm a scientist in the field of philosophy and religious studies and a mindset coach who helps people to achieve new levels of results with ease and satisfaction. And in this video, I'm going to share a practice that has helped me forever defeat procrastination and destroy fear of failure, fear of mistakes and wrong decisions in my life. Well, before that, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss new interesting thoughts and you will have safe space to share your own. They must be heard. Therefore, in order to understand what practice I'm about to share with you and why it's suitable for each of us, let's briefly analyze the mechanism of procrastination process itself. So Roman Prem from the Department of Applied Psychology at the University of Vienna, Austria, and a group of scientists from Germany, in their latest research, they identify procrastination as a form of self-regulation failure characterized by the irrational delay of tasks despite potentially negative consequences. And an interesting fact that I found in another study is that about 1 in 5 adults suffers from chronic procrastination. In this video, I will share one of the most common reasons why this happens to us and how to finally break this vicious cycle and start living the life of your dreams without putting it off because of routine of procrastination. The first truth about procrastination is that usually, deep down, we choose not to manifest, act, or do something because we are so afraid of making a mistake. We are so afraid of failure. We are so afraid of making a mistake. And I'm so afraid of making a mistake, so I forgot the words. It can be a fear that we will start doing something new, moving towards our goal, and suddenly we will not succeed. And the second truth is that we will definitely succeed, but not on the first try. Therefore, based on previous experiences of such situations when we did something wrong or we did something not from the first try, I think each of us had such situations even in childhood when something didn't work out for us. So after such experience, it becomes scary for our brain. So our brain just chooses to stop us from new adventures in life. And if we go to the root of problem of procrastination even deeper, our brain is always afraid not of the mistake itself, not of the action that will take place, but of what you, having taken those action, will face yourself. That is, if I try something and I fail, I will face myself as a failure. And facing such a version of ourselves is not a very pleasant bonus from completing the task for our ego. Our ego is arranged like a fragile, thin ice. Ice that protects the surface of the water and its inhabitants from the cold. This ice is so thin that everything can penetrate its cracks. So this ice keeps us at the bottom, below the surface. Not to climb and achieve mountain peaks, just so you don't face a new truth about yourself. But the same scheme works also in the opposite direction. That is, when we sit under this ice and look at the beautiful algae around us, and we look at that mountains from above the ice, which limits us from them. We do not try anything new. We do not try to break this ice, to break through, to achieve that mountain peaks. Because our brain already thinks that I'm cool. I already have a nice views of algae near me. I have everything in the water at the bottom. And none of the surrounding fish judge me. And in fact, deep down, we are very afraid to break this fragile ice. We are very afraid to break out, to try to come to the surface and start achieving that mountain peaks of our highest goals. After all, if I break this ice and I don't manage to get on the land, if I don't manage to do something else and achieve that mountain, if I achieve that mountain not from the first try, then I will immediately understand that that image of myself as a successful fish in the water with beautiful algae around is not the truth. That success is not real. Turns out I can be wrong too. Turns out I can make mistakes. Turns out I'm not so perfect. Turns out I can do things wrong too, as others. And our ego, this thin, fragile ice, does its best to protect us from this terrible realization that I will be a failure if I try to break this ice and achieve that beautiful mountain in the landscape. Eventually, when we meet this version of ourselves, the result is that we have to say goodbye to that image of us a successful fish in beautiful water. So we should leave that opinion about us, which we had, and start building a new one. And we can find a new one only on the land, as a climber to that mountains. When we start trying to break this ice, developing ourselves, and do small steps to achieve that mountain peak of our greater goals. And yes, you may admit that you're failing during this, and you're still a fish, not a good climber. You may admit that you're not good at something, or maybe you have already suffered that defeat in something. But only when you will accept that you are not good in something, you will understand that that's normal. And even better, that's the only way to conquer the heights of your dreams. My coaching, my OK method, and all the techniques I share with my clients are about getting out of that fish under the ice self-image that is right now very good for you. But you already need to learn something new about yourself, making mistakes along the way, learn new things, and finally, as a climber, achieve new heights of your greatest goals. Today, I will share with you one such a practice that I'm sure will help each of you right now. And this practice is very simple. All you need to realize for it is that when we fear failure, our brain pursues it as a loss, as some kind of damage done to us. That is, when we fail at something, we lose something along with it. I repeat, our brain and our ego designed to save us, to protect us from this moral harm. That's why our ego protects us like that fragile ice by saying, don't do it, you don't have to, there will be losses, let's sit quietly. And the practice I'm about to share with you suggests that we just change our perspective on failure. And we can do this with very simple comparison. Now, when you go and do something new, or you set yourself up to take some new task, and you fear that it will be failure or success, it really doesn't matter it will be failure or success. Imagine yourself on the field in your head and how you land joins this field. And this new land that joins your field is a whole new area that your brain has explored in a new task, in a new field. Imagine that starting to deal with a task you have set or going into a new sphere for yourself is the same as discovering a new continent for yourself. It's like discovering some new territories in yourself. So why to imagine it? And what is the advantage of such an analogy? The main advantage that it's not just a territory, that is a new area discovered by your brain. It's a new land, and you can harvest from any land. That is, after performing any action that you have postponed, especially when it's action related to your desires or goals, after you dare to go into this sphere, and after you perform this action, a new field will appear. Luck or failures. But in any case, pursue it as a new land, a new territory from which you can harvest new conclusions. Conclusions based on your action and your own mistakes. And on the basis of this collected harvest, you will see what fruits you have collected. That is, these are the fruits from which you have already learned something new, simply by performing a new action that you have been putting off for a long time. That is, every time you make a new step, you not only join new territories, but you also collect and save the harvest of your new personal qualities from there. Because when something doesn't work out for you, you grow a lot in it. And this is how you develop a new life skills. I have such a nice neighbor. He sings and I wanna dance. Not talk about all that science. Therefore, this practice consists in realizing that when you try to act, go into something new, or finally do something that you long put in a long drawer, you, along with this, develop new lands from which you can harvest. And only from such comparison, a great desire to develop ourselves appears in our brain, to open more and more lands and to harvest more and more crops from it. That is, to master more and more areas in your brain, which at the right moment will definitely turn on to use this harvest, this experience, and create something new and very cool for your realization, and reaching the heights of your wildest dreams, in contrast to sitting on already developed lands, like those areas under the ice, and wondering why you are not growing and can't reach a new level. Really, why? Why am I not living the life of my dreams yet? Why don't I have an audience of hundreds of thousands yet? Why am I not traveling the world yet? Because you don't explore new lands and harvest new crops from it. That's all. Such an important analogy that helps to realize the importance of both the field of failure and the field of success. That is, it removes procrastination, the fear of starting and postponing something for later, and it removes the fear of failure later. So remember that everything goes only for good, not for loss. Even when you messed around and didn't succeed, remember that you can collect a valuable harvest from that field of failure, thanks to which one day you will succeed. Success is just the number of attempts, and realizing how you can improve each subsequent attempt by gathering valuable experience from each new attempt. If you're interested, I can make a separate video on this topic. I can share with you the science of success and one of my favorite examples that really inspires me. Let me know in the comments. In the meantime, I will summarize our meeting today. In life, everything depends only on number of developed plants. The fields of success and failure from which you collect your harvest. And later this harvest can be exchanged to something else. Harvest is a mindset and a skills that are built up as you explore many new territories. Gradually, that will give you a result that can be measured. For example, in monetary terms, we are fulfilled when we share with the world something that we know how to do. How to know what we could do? Just try new things, explore new areas. It's important to become insatiable for knowledge and seek to explore the most diverse areas that life offers to us, or areas that we are interested in. Strive even to mess around in something as much as possible, so later you can gather even more valuable experience. As a result, you can get even more material results from it in the future. That's all for today. Share your thoughts and feelings in the comments. How do you like this practice? What thoughts and answers to what questions would you like to hear from me next time? Hugs! Thank you for your attention and see you!